telling me if my eyes and my heart need to be open, that means what you telling me, I'm not doing that. So that's judgment.
No, it's like
What are you?
I'm not like I don't determine.
That's like me telling you not woke because you believe in the Bible.
And that's all that is my opinion. Like
That's me judging you.
I don't
Because
like,
you believe in the Bible.
All right, so look, I'm gonna take it back to this. I like making things simple. Okay, when you go to court, there's a judge.
Right.
He determines what happens to you. He determines your fate, your outcome. Like he makes that decision.
Right.
I'm not making no decision on you. I'm just telling you how I feel about it. I'm just giving you a difference in opinion.
So give
So,
your
but I'm not judging you.
give an opinion. Don't.
I did.
So what I'm telling
My
you,
opinion is your eyes haven't been opened as of yet.
and what I'm telling you is that's what you call either stereotype or judgment. Because I didn't.
Pooh,
That's
you
what
just
you.
be coming up with words that ain't that.
What are you talking about? Because I'm telling you, if you telling me that your eyes, my eyes ain't open because I don't believe
So
or subscribe to what you subscribe
so every
to, my
time-
eyes ain't open.
So every time you give your opinion of something, you judging somebody?
If I come at you on a judgmental way,
It ain't no
if I
judgment
tell
away.
you you a
I'm-
clown nigga for still eating meat, what I'm doing? Judging you because you eat meat.
You're giving me your opinion.
No, I'm not giving you my opinion. My opinion would be, my nigga.
This is what I'm telling you.
I think you.
I feel like
I think you need to go. I think you
a
need to
judgment-
go. Let me talk. Why don't you let me
have
talk?
some bearing on
Let me talk.
the outcome.
Let me talk.
Your opinion don't have no bearing on nothing I do. So whether or not you feel like I'm a clown for eating meat, or whatever, like that don't matter. It's irrelevant.
It don't
to
matter.
me.
It don't matter. But if
Exactly.
you told me,
But if there was a judgment, that judgment holds weight. That judgment matters. That judgment, there's something comes behind that. That's why the judge can say, all right, because you did this, take your ass to jail.
Right, to 30.
now you
Life
you
sentences.
just going into
That's
it with
no
the
word. Like words have meaning, Pooh. They mean something. Like
Okay.
you just like my opinion don't mean shit. Like at the end of the day.
And at the end of the day, what I said as what you did as judgment is still considered judgment
To you.
Period. And what a judge is judgment for him.
No,
It's the
it ain't
same
for him.
shit. Yes,
It
it
ain't
is.
for him.
Yes, it is.
It ain't for him.
So every judge go by the law.
They're supposed
supposed
to.
to.
And guess what they don't do?
But that's what I'm telling you, Pooh. There's no such like.
So don't tell me that words mean something
They
then.
do,
When they still,
Pooh.
when I can still go into judgment going on other different things.
Pooh.
Because you can't tell me all judges go by what they supposed to and then say
that's a
no.
totally different topic.
Dog.
That's really a whole nother podcast.
That's going into meanings
based
and
on-
words.
That's based. No, that's not.
Yes,
That's
now you
get into law
That's based on
and
what that
judgment.
person noble. That
goes into judgment.
That's not judgment. That's a person abusing power.
Off of the word what? Being able to what?
Abuse their power.
Of
they
what?
had a certain level of
what?
power. They had a certain level of power. They chose to abuse that.
On what? What's their level of power? Judgment. And still go back to the same word that we keep we're discussing.
That don't make sense.
What you talking about don't make sense, and you brought up the judge.
That's because it's the context, right? So if you talk about the judge's position is to preside over, that's his job, and to give the final call, so to speak. His
Correct.
job is to stamp
Through the
what's
law.
been decided by the
the law.
jury.
The verdict.
Unless you
Correct.
got a judge
Right.
doing your judge and jury the whole nine, but ultimately, I understand what you're saying. You're saying basically, if you tell me I'm wrong for doing something, or if you tell me something that I did is wrong, or the way I think is wrong, or I need to do something, then ultimately you're judging me for where I am.
But that's
You know
not
what I
just
mean?
that. It's not just that you got to tell me. It also because he said you got to say it in a certain manner.
It ain't about the manner. It's about what you say.
That is what you said.
It's about what
That's
you
what you
say.
said. You said no. If you're giving your opinion, but you come at me in a judgmental way.
No, it's
What
about
the fuck is a
judgmental
judgmental
words. It's judgmental words.
Same thing. Now you use judgmental words. What is that?
Because
so
soon
I
as-
can give you my opinion as long as I say it nice.
Yeah, because if
Then
we
it
do-
ain't judgment.
it ain't about the nice.
I can say
it's not
I can
about
say
the
the
nice.
exact same thing. As long as I say it nice, I'm not judging you. But once I say it, and once I
In a condemning way, now you're judging.
Right. Once I take the filter off of it, once I give you the straight, then
No,
it is
it's
judgment.
it's about eliminating certain words and using what you using as your opinion.
That's a feeling.
Once you start using other words inside of your opinion, it can turn into a judgmental opinion. rather than it just being an opinion.
It's still an opinion.
So now you keep trying to be right.
No, it ain't about being right.
You still keep trying to be right, rather
ain't
than
gotta
acknowledging
agree.
that you keep on saying that the words mean something, and they do.
They do.
So what I'm telling you, if you come at somebody in a judgmental way, giving an opinion, they can say you're being judgmental.
They can.
So,
Fair enough.
so that's what I'm trying to tell you. You can't keep telling me that it don't. That's not the case,
Right.
and it is the case.
And I think a part of it is it's a feeling. So I get it. Like a person can feel judged. So that makes it a bit relative.
And the person can ultimately feel judged when
Right.
you make them feel judged.
Exactly.
Fair enough.
So I can't dictate how you feel when I say something.
You can
just
dictate
like
what you say.
disrespect. Just like disrespect. Disrespect is different to everybody.
Yeah.
Like certain things, I might tell somebody, man, fuck you, and they feel like that's disrespectful. But I can say it's the same exact thing to somebody else, and they may not feel disrespected at all. Right. So it's based on your feeling. What I can say is, I'm not judging you. I can tell you my intent. Now, if you feel like I was being judgmental, what I'll say is, I apologize for that, and that wasn't how I meant to come off.
Correct. But I just want you to
And
know.
for the record-
I just want you to know.
for the
Furthermore, for just for your own safety.
Right, I know, and I'm safe all the time.
I'm talking about conversational wise.
Step that. Not for you. Yeah.
Conversational wise. When you use
Right.
words,
Right.
and how you use words,
They can be taken a certain way.
and it
can
goes,
be.
and that can determine
It's all
how
about
the
delivery.
conversation
Yeah, how
goes.
you package
Exactly.
the message.
So that's
Yeah,
what I'm trying to.
packaging the
That's all I'm
message.
trying
It
to
matters.
explain.
I agree.
That's
I
just
agree.
how we've been having this same
That's true.
conversation. And for me to not, if I was to ever say and come at y'all like, man, y'all ain't woke. Y'all ain't really do what y'all supposed to do. Because if y'all did, y'all would feel how I feel.
Right.
That's judgmental. That's me telling y'all that
It
because
could be
I
taken
be,
that way. You're
but
right.
that's really
Yeah.
it's taken that way because it's meant
I
to be
wouldn't
taken that way.
I wouldn't feel judged, but that's just me. But I could also understand the next man feeling judged.
Correct. Yeah,
So
yeah.
you're right in that sense that because it's a feeling, it can be relative to what you're feeling at the time. I wouldn't feel judged just because I know you. So when you know a person, you kind of can know their intent. You can kind of know what's behind it. You can kind of know, all right, like if I come in here and be like, man, bitch, what's down? Like, that's just on some New Orleans stuff. You gonna be like, whoa, what's up? Because you know my intent.
That's lingo.
Right.
That's lingo.
But it's the exact same thing. When I go to somebody else and I'm like, bitch, what's happening?
They like lace them up.
It's a whole
It's an
different
insult.
thing.
Exactly. It's
Yeah,
a different thing.
So that-
that's a cultural
It
thing.
is.
That's
It
a
is.
cultural
But
thing.
because that goes back to the feelings. That's
But what we talking about, but what I'm telling you about what we talking about,
it's a feeling.
if we talking about what we talking about and how we talking about it, anytime you come at somebody on some, well, you obviously not woke or
Yeah.
your heart not open,
Right.
that's when it becomes, wait, hold on.
Right.
Right.
Because you can't,
You can't know that.
just as passionate
Yeah.
and right that you may feel,
Right.
I feel the exact same
And
way.
you
So I
should.
can easily come at you
And
the
so-
exact same
and
way.
you can.
And you gonna feel the exact same
I'm
way
not.
because you are.
You know why I'm not? You know why I'm not? Is because that's what I expect. I expect because
But that's what I expect. That's what I expect. But
Right.
that's what I tell you. That's my biggest
Yeah,
beef.
yeah. I expect,
That's what I expect too.
I
What you think I'm
expect-
surrounded by? Christians.
I get it.
All y'all.
Right. So
So I do what you think. I expect all of this.
exactly.
I just know what to
Which-
say.
which-
And I'm willing to say these type of things to you.
Right.
Because anybody else would tell me that I ain't woke and all that. Like,
Exactly. And
it's about to go to a whole nother level.
But what I'm telling you is it should never go back to a whole nother level because at the end of the day, if you telling me
Don't judge
if
me.
I believe what I believe,
And I'm cool
your
with that.
judgment don't matter to me. Like
Your
Jesus was
judgment-
judged and murdered and killed. He knew that was coming. Like I expect to be judged. Like I expect it. So I'm not really worried about it coming because I already know it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Like so I don't feel played about it because I know what like I know who Satan is. I know what he represents. I know what he coming for. And I know that he could use a person when they don't even know he being used.
So who made
Excellent
Satan?
point. Paul, let me ask you this. I know you don't believe in God per se, but do you believe there's a evil entity, Lucifer, Satan, Beelzebub?
I believe
Son of
in,
the
I
Lord.
believe in good and bad.
Okay, bad, right?
Okay.
It's good and bad.
So do you believe like there's an entity that controls the bad side of things?
No, I believe people control the bad side of their own badness.
Right. I agree
And
with
so
that.
there's different degrees of bad.
that we all gods and we control what we control. We move with what we feel what's in our heart.
I agree with that. And not that,
So
not that we
heartedly.
all gods. I don't
That's what
feel
gods
like we
do.
all gods.
That's what gods do.
I feel like there's a
That's what
bit,
gods do.
I feel like there's a bit of God in all of us. And he gives us free will to A, go right, B, go left.
Right.
Go good, go bad. He gives us that freedom to make those decisions for ourselves. Which is why I don't necessarily feel like,
And I
which is
disagree.
why I don't
I
necessarily
disagree
feel
with
like a situation such as people being born gay. I don't feel like people are born gay. I feel like it's a choice. I feel like our lives are filled with choices. I feel like God gives you the choice to A, do this, or B, do that. Like, that's just how I feel.
There's definitely room for another topic. I definitely agree that. So
Yeah,
choice,
and
nature
you
versus
already
nurture.
know.
That's definitely a good
I'm not-
segue
and
to
I'm-
another topic.
Yeah, for sure.
But
we
let me ask
we
you
gonna get
this,
into it,
Pooh,
but I
while
still,
we're
y'all
saying
know, man,
religion,
I
that's
got words
excellent
for that
point,
too.
Gary.
Right.
Straight up.
When we're talking about
go in
religion,
on
so-
that.
I'm just
I got to
saying.
go
Fast
in
forward,
there.
like we were saying, I know where you at from a historical perspective, but where we're sitting right now in the 21st century, with our people being heavily churched, over 80% of our people being churched, do you still believe that the oppressor is the reason that 85% of our current people are churched
Yeah.
and believe what they believe?
Hell yeah. I feel like we as black people in America are the most religious people in America.
That is true. That is true. Do you
And
believe
guess
that
what?
is
But guess why? Guess why?
Why?
Because I feel like what we having faith on and what our people have subliminally been doing for all these hundreds of years is having faith and praying to the Lord to change their what they see, their present moment, feeling like it's gonna change.
I agree.
This is what the Bible has told you to do. What you going through is you supposed to go through this.
I
This is a
agree.
part of my will.
I agree with that
I-
to
so-
a certain extent.
Let me
Go
keep
ahead.
talking.
Go ahead.
Let me keep talking.
Go ahead.
How you keep on telling me
I got it.
that
Go
you how
ahead.
you keep telling
Go
me
ahead.
God gave you free will,
Definitely.
but what the Bible tells you, what you go through in life is a part of my will.
Definitely.
So how am I gonna have free will if what ain't in your will, I'm trying to have it?
That's more.
I
so-
see for my
that-
future.
that's
How can you explain that?
So you
That's
saying that the
more
Bible
so-
says that
What if
those
my
particular-
will? What if my will, what I'm trying to will, don't coincide with what he's trying to will? How am I supposed to know?
I think if
How am I know
I
that?
think that's more so like he already knows what you're gonna decide.
So what's free will?
Whatever I decide, but he knows what.
How
you're
you
gonna
supposed to
decide.
how? So how you going? It's gonna be up to you if you're supposed to look to him first. Every decision that you're supposed to make, you're supposed to ask him
For
and look for
guidance.
him.
For
Ask him
guidance.
to lead
For
you in the
guidance.
right path.
Right.
And following
We do-
his footsteps
right,
on
you-
whatever
you-
situation
you do
you're supposed
that-
to go in
You do
his
that with
thing.
regular people. You do that with regular people.
What you mean?
You might be about to make a decision. You might call one of your homies and say, dog, what you think about this? That's all you doing.
You st-
Ultimately, you still gonna decide what you gonna do.
Ultimately, you have to make the decision.
If you
So
ask
if I-
me,
so
if
if
you
I
ask
go
me,
through-
say, dog, you
Go
think
ahead.
I should buy these J's? Man, fool, you tripping? Them J's cost $17 to make. You gonna spend $200 on them? Don't buy that shit. But then you say, man, fuck it, I want them J's.
And you go get them.
And you go get them.
That's your
Yeah.
choice.
That's your choice.
So why are you
So
telling
that's the
me?
same
So
thing.
why are you telling
I
me
asked
that you
God-
asked him?
I asked God,
And you
can
know that you
lead
got
me?
the control.
I do have
So
the
who have the control?
Because I
Him or you?
I lean on him for understanding, for direction, for other things.
It comes down to-
not to
is
make the
it
decision
his
for
will
me.
or your will?
It's my will.
So how can it be your will if he know the answers? And he knows,
Ultimately,
like how can it be
wait.
yours?
So ultimately,
if it's his plan, you
Wait.
telling me everything that you do is his according to his will.
ultimately,
That's what you
your
believe.
desire. So our desire as Christians is to please God. We know our way to do that is to seek God's will in any situation, right? God says, I've already laid my will out in the Bible. So you know how I move. So, all right, God, I'm faced with a particular situation. God, your word tells me that there is in a multitude of counsel, there is safety. So I know I'm going to lean on people that I trust with a particular decision I know carries a lot of weight, right? Because I'm going to do what your word tells me to do. Because ultimately I know that is your will. So it's God's will, but our choice. So we choose to serve God. We choose to believe in Christ. We choose to read our Bible. We choose to go to church. We're not forced to do those things.
Right.
Correct.
We do it out of a relationship.
Correct.
God, I love you. God, I believe in you. So because of those things, out of my love for you,
I'm gonna do this.
I am propelled to do these things.
So guess
There
what
no
that
other
means?
reason.
Guess what that shows you?
What does that show you?
Control.
By whom?
Your relationship with the person that you considering and calling God. That's what it
I'm
does.
cool with God.
That's
That's
okay.
what it does.
That's okay
I'm
because that's
perfectly
true in
fine.
any
So
relationship.
that's what I'm trying to tell you.
But that's true in any relationship.
Correct.
That's
Yeah,
the thing. But
correct.
see, I go back
understand
to a word that you've used often tonight, and that's oppression or oppressor. I feel like the majority of things that's wrong with our community, because we're talking about our community and the black community, like I feel like as far as the church is concerned, we not being oppressed by white folks no more. It's us that's oppressing us. It's like the majority of these churches, all these black people ain't going to the white church. We go in the church where it's a black man leading you the wrong way.
So who you think building the churches? The white people.
Pooh.
With what? What?
What white?
We
okay.
just built a church here in New Orleans
We
recently.
just built a church. How many churches they got in New Orleans?
Plenty.
How many black people built them? Start naming them.
You think they got
Start naming them.
You think
Well,
they got
hold on.
more
They-
white
they
preachers
got a
or black
church?
preachers in New Orleans?
Probably black.
Why?
So what does that mean?
Because
Who
we're
you not-
predominantly-
you
we're
not-
predominantly
that's
black
not
community.
proving nothing to me.
So you're
It
not
is, because
listening,
where's
that's
the
why.
dollars coming from?
That's
The
why you're
dollars
not
aren't being
listening.
Go ahead.
aren't being
going.
ushered
I'm saying
in.
that,
Keep
that,
going.
that and that's the dollars is where I really feel like in today's church, that's where the oppression comes in. I'm leading you the wrong way. I'm giving you this my opinion as opposed to teaching you to go read the Bible for yourself and get your own understanding.
I have.
You have. What I'm telling you is a lot of these false prophets and a lot of these fake preachers are doing it for their own personal gain.
Correct.
And that's
They are.
more of how we're being oppressed today than the white folks told us to do this during slavery. Yes, that was wrong. Yes,
At that time, that was wrong. No
Slavery
doubt.
was the worst thing ever. That's not my reality. I've never been a slave. I have to take the book and see how it relates to me today.
That's what the book is made for.
So if it was made to control them slaves back then, that don't have nothing to do with me.
That's because you're not in those times.
Exactly.
That's
so
on-
I
that's
have
the
to
only
take
reason
those
why.
times and see how I can relate it to me instead of listening.
Actually, here's the paradox. If the oppressor specifically wrote the book for that time to enslave the people, why hasn't he updated the book for these times?
Because there's no need to.
Why not?
Are we above the oppression? Are we out here?
I just told you,
Are
I
we
feel
out?
like
Are
the
we out
oppression
here
has changed.
just progressing out here in life like that?
If
You think the white people
Compared to where we were?
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
and we still like
How many
years
black
ahead-
millionaires we have?
We still light years behind these
That's
white
true. They had a
people.
head start.
We've
I don't
been had
disagree.
millionaires.
Yeah.
We've been had millionaires. We had slaves that became millionaires.
Correct.
Immediately.
Correct.
This been going on. We royalty.
Right.
We've been way official.
So this,
Right after all of
even
that,
going
we
back
had
to-
people that was progressing within slavery.
Even going back
Fair
to
enough.
even going
We-
back
we
to slavery,
royalty.
since you bringing up slavery and you bringing up royalty, who do you blame more for that? The white folks that brought us over, or the black man who sold us?
The white people that came over there.
I don't.
The white people that
your
came
own
over
people?
there.
Who sold you?
The white people that came over
That's what I'm
there.
about to tell you. I don't.
Man, people
I
get put in
I
this-
don't blame a person who sees something that they can purchase. They go buy it, and they use it for their good.
So you blame.
Once I buy something,
It's mine.
it's mine.
I'm owner.
I can do what I can do with it.
Do what I want with it.
So you blame the drug dealers in the hood, or you blame the government?
I blame the drug dealers in the hood.
You stupid. Why? So the government.
That's your definition of judging.
Correct.
Judge them.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
That's judgmental.
Correct.
Because you know why? You know why I blame the drug dealer in the hood? Because that was the choice you made.
And guess what?
Everybody didn't make that choice.
Everybody didn't make that choice. Right.
So
correct.
So,
even though it's available to everybody, right?
So then, and that's when it goes
So
down to.
I'm not saying that the government has no responsibility in the situation, because they do. They have a responsibility. They are part of the blame. But who do I hold responsible? I hold responsible the person who I don't trust the government anyway.
So you think
So
people?
I don't hold
So
them.
you think?
I don't hold them to that, because
So you think?
I know that I'm gonna get from you what you've shown me you are. So I don't expect certain things from the government anyway. They've already shown me who they are. Once you show me who you are, I can't help but to believe you. But when you trick me and say, I'm cool with you, and then you fuck over me, oh yeah, that's a whole different problem.
There's been a fuck over since the beginning.
But
of
we
time.
got fucked over by us.
And that's ultimately what he's saying. Pooh, he's saying that we want to put all of the blame on the white man.
It's not.
But ultimately, we were the kings
We gotta take some
doing the work.
responsibility for ourselves, dog.
I mean, at that time, we
And it's
have a
never
part to
gonna
play in
It's
that.
never gonna get better until we take some self-accountability.
So you are mad at our ancestors.
I'm not
Hell
mad at
yeah.
anybody personally,
Hell yeah.
because I believe that was a time that happened for a reason, and I believe now we're in a different time. Yes, is there still instances of oppression? Yes,
Hell
it's going to
yeah.
always be there.
Yeah.
It's going to always be there just because mathematically you're outnumbered.
Yeah, outnumbered.
That's number one. But ultimately, I believe now.
out of any race.
Come again?
Guess who's been oppressed the longest out
More
of
than
any
likely,
race?
we have.
And it don't more than likely. It's a fact.
So, but at what point in time are we gonna take some responsibility for that out ourselves?
When we able to.
Like the Jews was
When we able to.
like there was Holocaust and everything.
When they
tried
give us a
wipe
chance to.
They tried
Yeah,
to
the
wipe.
Germans
they tried,
were taking care of
they tried-
everybody.
They tried to wipe all of them out. It's and when we look at it over here, it's a known stereotype that Jews get into the money.
Yeah. Because
Why we ain't getting to the money as a whole? Because
We still caught in the trap. We still caught in the trap.
No, because they do
Yeah.
it together and build each other up. They take their money, use it in their community, and say, all right, we got us, and we gonna go up as us.
Right.
We ain't figured that out yet, which is why they started the oppression. But that's why I say now in today's, we more oppressed by ourselves than we are by the white man.
Hell no.
I mean,
Hell no.
do we as a whole? Do we build?
And I'm
each
not.
other
I'm
up?
not putting all the blame
As
on
a-
white people.
I'm not putting it.
I'm not putting all the blame on white people.
I don't hold. I don't expect y'all to do it for me.
And I
don't
can't
expect
expect-
y'all to do it for me, but I do expect my people to have my back.
But I can't
I
expect.
do expect y'all to go to war with me. If we get out, if we walk outside, and a nigga try to jump me, and y'all don't jump in, and y'all don't help me, I got a problem
That
with
is
that.
a problem.
If I walk out there with
problem.
two white boys that I don't know, I don't expect them to do shit.
But what
I
I do
expect them to get the hell out of here. Y'all two better help.
for sure, and that's because we didn't been through
Because
shit.
I hold y'all
We
to
done-
a higher standard.
And what I can't hold
And we
my
don't do
people,
it.
but what I can't hold my people to, and what I can't expect them to do, and feel like y'all better do this, is because we was forced into the situations that we in.
Right.
We couldn't control
That was the
the
start.
situations and where we come from.
That was the
We
start. How
can't
do it get
control.
fixed?
We can't
You
control.
think they gonna fix it?
Shut up. We can't. You can't control, and we can't control
How it started.
Exactly.
How it's gonna get fixed? You think they gonna fix it?
Buku time.
Do you think they gonna fix
So
it?
how can it get fixed?
We gotta fix it.
And it's gonna take. It's happening.
It-
That's why we in the times that
It's
is
not
going-
happening.
Yes, it is. Didn't y'all just ask me how many black millionaires they got?
Even if it is helping, even if it is happening, I'm happy and I hope it does happen.
Nah.
But it clearly took us way longer than everybody else.
How could it not? If we 600 years behind, how can it? How can I expect my people
Man, we got-
that's been
because
down
we got-
and put in the situation that they in, be forcefully?
But it
Because-
sounds like
to
you're
come
blaming
through
the
and
Bible
break
for
through.
slavery, bro. And that wasn't the Bible's purpose.
Dog.
Now, to say that it was used during that time, yes, but that wasn't the Bible's original intent.
I just think it's
All I'm
I
telling
think
you
it's
is the
crazy.
Bible worked as his intent.
No doubt, it has worked in multiple
We the most
instances.
religious people. We the most that go to bat for the Bible, and we will serve the Bible by the oppressor. And now the Bible has convinced us that
The Bible ain't
what-
convinced me to be oppressed. 'Cause
What
not okay.
I'm not telling you that. I'm telling you that the Bible has convinced you to tell me that I can go to this. I'm a Christian and I can use this for my life standards to proceed. And I respect that. But what I'm telling you is, if you truly read the Bible that you going into, you cannot tell me that this is book. It's so much stuff in that I know.
I agree with
That
that.
you don't subscribe with.
I agree with that. I just told you that. No. It's not so much in the book that I don't subscribe to.
What else is it in there?
It's a lot of stuff that these men say is in the
I'm
book that I
talking
don't
about the
subscribe
stuff
to.
that's in the book
But you
that
don't
I
read
know
the
that
book.
you don't subscribe to.
But you
I
don't
do read the book.
You don't read the book.
So you telling me you do?
I read. Okay.
So do you subscribe to the Bible?
I don't read it as much as I should.
So do you read the
but
Bible?
I do read it.
So
yes.
do you subscribe to the Bible?
Yes.
I have one question that I know that you is about to question you and the Bible
All right.
and the God that you serve.
What's that?
Do you eat pork?
Yes.
Thank you. You don't subscribe to the Bible.
No.
No, nothing.
Do you know what a subscription is?
Yes.
Okay.
Follow.
A subscription.
Follow.
Right. But that don't mean I'm going to. That doesn't mean I'm going to do everything correct.
So you can't pick and choose to me what the sins is.
No.
And with
it could very well be a sin. Having sex before marriage is a sin.
and you chose to not
And
subscribe to that part of the Bible.
I agree, but does that mean I'm not a Christian because I sin?
That mean you're not a subscriber to the Bible.
No, that don't mean I'm not a Christian because I sin.
Man,
Because
you don't
it's
know.
also
Obviously, you
written
don't know
in
what
that
subscribing
everybody will
is.
sin.
You don't know what subscribing is. You gonna pick and choose what your sin
ain't-
is and what's good
All
or
right,
what's
so
bad.
it's all a sin.
wait, Gary, hold on, to talk about the pork thing. So let me ask you this: that's Old Testament, right? Let's move to no. Let's put it into
That's
context.
Bible.
Check it out. I don't
Bible.
disagree. Check it
Old
out.
Testament and New
Check this
Testament
out.
is Bible.
But listen to
Bible.
this. Let's move to when
Why
the
we gotta
Pharisees.
move? I don't want to move.
No,
nowhere.
because I'm about to give you another part of
I don't
that
wanna
same
move.
Bible that you're talking
That's
about.
part
Let
of
me
the
give you another
problem.
part of it.
That's part of the problem.
So-
That's why it is.
That you don't want to move. When you get stuck in one spot, that's not
I'm
a
not
good thing.
stuck.
Yeah, I don't want to
I'm
move.
not stuck. Yes, it
Ultimately,
does.
That's
so
what
religion,
religion does.
based on what you're doing right
True.
now, that's what religion is.
Right.
The reason I'm gonna say that is because
So y'all believe in sins?
Yes.
Yes.
So y'all believe one sin's bigger than the other.
No, sin is
All
sin.
sins is the shit.
The
All
Bible
you gotta
says
do is ask for
the
forgiveness.
wages
and you,
of sin is
and-
death.
and you straight.
That's it. That's how easy it is. Look at the
What
book of
sense
Romans.
What sense do that make?
It makes
Like,
a lot
how
of
does that-
sense
how does that
because
even-
you're talking
The
about.
Bible,
Wait,
if you Catholic, it said it got bigger sins and smaller.
but that's Catholicism. Are you in it or not?
Close the door.
Because we
get out of here.
record.
It's up to you. He told me to like this.
Get,
Is that your dad?
get out.
You want
If
this?
you're going out.
No, we straight. Oh, we
Check
recording?
it out. Yeah, we
we
record.
straight. Fuck it.
So, going back to the food thing, what I want you to be able to do, because I see what we're cherry picking the Bible. Ultimately, the Bible is broken up in what's called Old Covenant and New Covenant. You can think
ahead.
about it. Listen, Old Covenant is before Jesus. New Covenant is after Jesus. So Old Covenant says, I get into heaven by my works. I need a priest to go ahead and make sacrifices for me for atonement for my sin. New Covenant says, Jesus died for my sins. My sins are covered under the blood. Old Testament says, pork, bottom feeders, all that's off limits. New Testament says, a man is not defiled by what goes in his mouth, but by what comes out of his mouth. That's New Testament. So if that's New Testament, if that's New Covenant, that doesn't mean that I am free from Old Testament. That does not mean that. What I'm saying is, covenant-wise, I no longer have to work to get into heaven. What I do for God is out of a relationship for God. Jesus died. That's my atonement. He's the final lamb. He's the final sacrifice. That's New Covenant. You follow what I'm saying? So a lot of people cherry pick the Bible and point those things out. Tattoos, pork, all those various things that were mentioned Old Testament. I don't disagree with that. Yes, that is Old Testament. Yes, God still feels the way he feels about those things. But when Jesus died, Jesus became the covering for those things. His blood became the covering for those past transgressions. You follow what I'm saying? So go ahead. I'll give you an opportunity to speak on that.
I see how it makes sense to y'all. You know what I'm saying? I see how y'all would believe that because y'all believe in that concept.
Okay.
I just can't.
And that's okay.
I don't
You
believe.
can't subscribe.
Yeah.
And
I'm sorry.
And that's what.
And that's okay. And
Like,
that's what makes us human.
I'm sorry. Like,
at the end of the day,
you know what I'm saying?
At the end of the day, that's what this is for.
Yeah.
That's what N.O.Pinions is. We have this type of conversation. We have this type of banter. We can go back and forth. We get it. We'll figure it out. We not telling y'all what to believe. We not telling y'all how to what to take, what to agree with. Just take it for what it is. As far as the Bible, I'ma say, get into it for yourself and figure out what you believe.
Right.
Yeah, because there's good things in it. There's good things in it. It can help out in plenty of situations.
And that's what you take
know what I'm
from
saying?
the
But
podcast.
get your own perspective. Get your own perspective.
Check us out and then form your own opinion based on something that we said or based off how you feel.
And don't be scared to be different. That's the whole thing.
That is true.
Fact.
Don't be scared to
Fact.
think different. Don't be scared to be different.
Right.
At the end of the day, you're not subjected to anything somebody tells you.
I agree.
Whatever you want to know, whatever you feel like you may want to inquire about, you have that leisure to do so.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And get your own perspective off of the same words or whatever words that you are reading to use for your benefit. You know what I'm saying?
And on that, we'll see y'all next week.
All right, guys.
Out of here.
Later.
My city get down, we so live. Throw a party downtown, it's showtime. Time is with us, we gon' make it work. And we gon' show the world how the city go berserk. Trumpets play till 5 in the morning, which be the sounds that'll make you love the city of New Orleans. You catch a bad vibe, chuck a deuce. Long as you feel alive, let's it bon temps roulette. Cause we gon' make it feel right at home. And you ain't gotta party alone. Hey DJ, play one of my songs so we can keep dancing to it all night long. The greatest time that you ever had, so we can feel joy instead of feeling bad. So you can live life and enjoy your time. We'll even stop traffic for the second line.